All right, guys, so we're working on a Whirlpool dryer, and I want to do this video to show you basically what to check and when they're good. There are a lot of videos out there telling you how to check something or if your dryer's not heating, but you still want to know what parts are good and what they do, and if this part is not working, why is that, and basically go through a couple things just to kind of give you a reference to know what part is doing what and when that part is bad. So let's say your dryer is not heating, okay? So the first thing you want to do first actually is you want to check your breaker. That's the best thing to check first. Turn it, both of them on and then back on. Off and then back on. If you're still not heating, then it helps if you have a tester, something like that. And then you want to check your outlet for power, and you should get 240 volts or close to that. 240 is ideal. If you do have power, so you want to start probably here, and this is your element, and I will show you a video. If your dryer is running, you should get 240 volts right there, okay, on those two pins. And also, if your element is good, you should get a good beep continuity. Okay, so that's a good element. If your element is good, then that section is good. Another thing you want to do, you want to check your element for ground. And grounding is nothing more than a bad element. Okay, so if the element is bad, right now it shows it's not grounded. That's a good element. The next thing you want to do, you want to check this guy. He is your thermal cutoff. Will stop you from heating. Okay, so if this guy is bad, your dryer will not heat. He's good. Okay, and he goes all the way. He works with this guy. He's a thermal cutoff. It's a safety thermostat. Do not bypass. This guy here is a high limit thermostat. He basically regulates the temperature inside. I will show you a video of that as well, where it cycles off and then back on. I have a video showing how to test those, because sometimes you may just put your meter on them and you get continuity, and normally everyone will say, oh yeah, that's good. Well, that's only half the story. It's testing good, but it's not cycling. In other words, it's not turning off. It's on, so it's always on, and it never cycles off. So that means that guy would trip. So let's, for example, you had a no heat condition and you replace that guy, your thermal cutoff, and you do one load and you go and put another load in or something, and you're like, oh, dryer's not heating. And you check that and it's bad. That's why they recommend you replace them in tandem. If he goes bad, replace that. And also, of course, if you have a grounded element, it could take that out as well. Next thing you want to check is your cycling. That's your thermostat. That's in the vent. And if he is bad, meaning no continuity, he also will stop the element from turning on. So he's also very important. That white one, if you press the start button and you hear a click, then that's what he does. He's basically, the temperature in your vent gets too hot, he will turn off. Another thing, your vent sometimes will get so filthy inside there that you have so much lint, it backs up and basically cause that guy to fail. Another thing which will stop your dryer from not turning on is your door switch, which actually is one of those blue wires. You can actually check your door switch from back here as well. Those are some of the things that will stop your dryer from heating. And of course, a bad timer can do that. It's kind of hard to check the timer. Oh yeah, I didn't mention the motor, but basically if you've checked everything, I'll also show you one on checking the motor. Inside there you have a centrifugal switch, and if the switch is worn out or bad, you can't really replace the switches, just the motor you'd have to replace. And the motor will fail in two different ways. It can fail where it basically seizes up and it binds, or it can fail where it turns on, it runs, but you're not getting your voltage going to the element, which means the switch is bad. And so if all those checks out, then you just want to replace the timer. Then it would be the timer. And another way of checking the timer, I have a video on that as well. You can push it to the left and watch it for a few seconds or about, close to a minute. And if nothing, then you turn to the right and so forth until the element inside starts to heat. And I do have a video somewhere, I haven't posted it, how to rebuild those timers and fix them. But they're fairly cheap. Just replace the timer. Here's another example. Wired to the element. And that motor is in circuit. Going to activate the motor now. Alright guys, so now we're continuing or not heating or no heat condition. That red wire, okay, we're checking for continuity between that red wire, which goes to the top pin on the timer, okay? So another thing that would cause you not to heat would be a bad motor, or you may say centrifugal switch, which is inside. So as the machine starts to turn, the centrifugal switch actually makes contact. So right now, we should be beeping if the motor was turning. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to activate the switch on the motor, and that will make contact, which basically completes the circuit. So the power would make one big loop and would go to the element, from the timer then to the element. All right, so I'm going to reach inside and try and find the switch and activate it. When I find it, you'll hear the beep. All right. So a bad motor can and will stop you from heating. So now we are going to watch the element, and it's going to cycle. You'll watch and you'll see where it cycles off. It will run for a while, then it will pretty much just go off. There it goes. The dryer is still hot on the inside, but that just shows the thermostat cycling, doing its job. That's why you never bypass any safety device on a dryer. There it goes. And that's the whole process that goes on inside your dryer. Thanks for watching.